Hey everybody, this is Andrew Benjamin with MMAsucker.com. With us, we have Jeremy Such, who will be taking on James Thompson, October 19th, Saturday, Grand Forks at the Alaris Center. Tickets are available on Ticketmaster.com. Just for transparency purposes, Jeremy has helped coach me in my fight coming up there, and I also train with him as well. Jeremy, thank you so much for your time, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I gotta ask you, so how did you get into this crazy sports of MMA?
I was a fan. I have a buddy who's going to be in my corner, Tanner Gross. They got me into it. I wanted to fight originally a couple years ago. He told me that he wasn't going to make sure I wasn't going to be able to fight until I at least put 1 year of jiu-jitsu in. So now, many years later, kind of finally getting around to being able to fight myself instead of being on the coach's end of it.
Hmm. I know that you were trying to get a fight for quite a while, but it looked like, I don't know, was it did the pandemic kind of saw that?
Yeah, there was a fight that was supposed to happen right before COVID that didn't happen, and then once it got postponed, another promotion was gonna pick me up to do one, and then got another postponed, and kind of just didn't work out that way. So finally getting around to it and to get in there again.
Hmm. Did you get any offers, or did you try seeing about fighting in Minnesota or even Iowa or even Montana?
I've looked into those things, but honestly, I just ended up being really busy with coaching, things like that, that I put myself on the back burner to help out other people. So now it's kind of good to be able to go out there and do it myself and just see what I can do out there.
So actually, so let's talk about your fight coming up, James Thompson. It'll be his second fight, and officially your first MMA fight,
Yeah.
amateur ruled, right?
Yes, correct. Amateur. Yeah.
Okay, so that means no hitting. That means no knees to the head, no elbows to the head, but basically everything else is legal.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha. I know I saw him fight at Spirit Lake Casino in August. I think you also saw him fight. Do you happen to have an impression of him as an MMA fighter?
So I just know that the opponent he went against was a really, really tough guy out of Minnesota. So I can't take his record into anything else besides that he went against a tough opponent. So I expect him to come out guns blazing and going to be a good fight.
Hmm. Is that tougher? Because even though yes, he's had one fight, uh, one fight, people lose their first fight, and then their second fight, they're an entirely different fighter. Is that harder than kind of just
Uh,
somebody who maybe has like five, six, seven fights under their belt already?
that and you also got to kind of look at the skill set of who they went against too. So you can't take anybody for granted. Like I tell my kid for wrestling, don't look at records. Face every opponent with a fresh mindset. They may change up their game completely and revamp what they're working on and come out stronger and harder. So you have to every fight, every match, you kind of have a fresh mindset of it, thinking
Mhm.
that they might change what they were doing before to make an improvement on it. So not going to take
Mhm.
his loss as anything to you know be an easy fight. I expect to be tough. I expect to grind. It should be a good one.
I believe this is at cruiserweight. So what's the weight cap for cruiserweight?
Uh, 206 to 225.
Okay. Okay. He's a pretty big guy from what I remember. Maybe 6'3", maybe six
Six
two.
6'4". Yeah,
Oh, 6'4". Okay. And
yeah.
probably was it 250, was he 240, 250?
Don't really
He's
remember off the
big.
top of my head. Yeah, he's a big gentleman. Yeah.
Gotcha. How's it feel I mean, is that even tougher trying to just prepare for a heavier guy?
Not really, because we got some big guys in the gym, so I've been getting rounds in with them.
Yeah.
Six 6'4" plus. Same height, same weight, bigger. Guys are lot more muscular. So again, I've been preparing for this one. So
Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself, regardless of the outcome, do you want to do another fight after, or you're going to take a break, some time, or you want to see how this fight goes? Like, what's the future plans after this fight?
we'll see. It's heading into wrestling season, and I help coach the Gladiators Wrestling Club. So I know from time at the gym into coaching them, my training alone will be a little bit more limited. Right now, I'm just doing, my training, kids jiu-jitsu classes, and then a little bit of wrestling and football. So I already have my schedule pretty scarce and timed out, but uh, should be good once wrestling season comes along. See what I can fit in there.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to one day see Hoist, your son, go into MMA one day?
Oh yeah, definitely. He he has some interest in it, and he gets him some rounds in with me in the kitchen unexpectedly, and he keeps me on my toes. So we'll see how that goes with him.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel that like we now have a really young before it seemed like it was like maybe 20-year-olds were getting to MMA. Now they're getting to them in the sports so young now, like 6, 7,
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
Um yeah, but what do you think? Like, is that when you were coming around, was that wasn't really like the thing though, right? It was like kind of like
No, not like that.
late teenage years, or if you're a college wrestler or something like that.
Yeah, kids are coming out of high school, wrestling, things like that. With him, one thing I really focus on is a lot more drilling aspects. I don't want to see him doing, hard sparring and sparring like that a lot. Maybe, get some rough wrestling rounds, jiu-jitsu rounds, but I think that's one thing that, gotta stay away from him. You know, getting into those hard rounds like that at an early age, that's not good.
Hmm. What so while preparing for this fight, what has been the toughest aspect of preparation for you? Is it what have you found? What that's just it's just like, oh man, I wasn't like, is it sparring rounds, drilling rounds, is it grappling rounds? Like, what has been the hardest, like, on you?
Everything, because we got some killers in the gym. So every round's a hard round. Um, you're not going to get a rest round with any guys from our gym. That's for sure.
Um, I'm curious to know who are some of your favorite fighters? Who are like the ones that you want to emulate or that you love watching?
For who is that?
Oh, for your favorite fighters who you want to emulate or who you just enjoy watching?
Um,
Who inspire
probably
you?
probably Cowboy Cerrone. That's a big one. Donald Cerrone is a big big favorite of mine.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now with Throne MMA here, kind of, looks like North Dakota's getting back into the MMA scene. Do you think that looks like what the future is going to be for North Dakota MMA? Is that it can finally get back on its feet post pandemic?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of shows, back to back shows. It's really good to see for the scene. Get more local guys some exposure and see where they can go with it.
Hmm. Well, who are your biggest inspirations for why you're doing this and why you continue to go to grappling classes, wrestling, or who inspires you the most as a person
Uh,
from your life?
my kids, first with Royce, got into it because I wanted to do it, and my wife said, do it now. There's no what ifs, just do it now. So now with Ronan too, just getting out there and doing it, putting in my effort, and seeing that they can do that and follow the steps if they want to, and put in the work.
Hmm. How does your wife feel about you taking your first fight? Is she worried? Is she supportive? How does she feel?
She's she's supportive. She's probably the biggest supporter I have. Taking care of the kids while I'm gone, training all the time, meal prepping for me, uh, covering all the housework that I try to get to, walking the dogs at night, doing everything else.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to do this fight camp if it wasn't without her.
Hmm. Hmm. So when you're not training, when you're not, going through the rigors of combat sports, what is it that you like to do on your free time?
Ride motorcycles, that be with my family, and then coach kids sports. Like I said, right now I'm
Hmm.
doing kids football at the Grand Forks football youth program, kids jiu-jitsu at Progressive Martial Arts, gladiators wrestling. Like I said, my schedule's pretty wild. Getting up at 4 a.m., going to lift, going to work, and then doing the rest of the coaching and training myself. I mean, in between that, riding motorcycles and being with my family.
Mm. I also, since I do not have any, I always like to hear tattoo stories, but you have 1,000 tattoos. So out of all the tattoos that you have, I want to hear which one is has the most interesting story behind it.
Um, Probably my feet. I have left and right on my feet, but it's backwards. It's your left, your right. Um, that's probably the most interesting one I got in my for stories.
Was there a reason why you decided to put it on do the opposites?
Just spur of the moment, kind of a joke between us, and just kind of went with it.
Gotcha, gotcha. I'm curious as well. So do you see yourself coaching, continuing to coach in MMA as well, and kickboxing and grappling going forward?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I plan on sticking around the gym and coaching as long as I can.
Do you ever see yourself? Do you see yourself like? Is there one aspect of MMA that you prefer over the other? I know everything might be the answer you say, but like, is there like, oh, I just prefer grappling a little bit more, or kickboxing a little bit more, or wrestling? Is there?
No, no, everything. I like how everything blends together. You got to set up your strikes to get to the grappling. You can't just lay on top of somebody. You got to be able to strike while grappling.
Mm,
Set up good positions. Uh, when I'm working, most of the time I'm researching, learning. That's what I love about martial arts. I don't see myself as being a quote unquote fighter, be more of a martial artist. Um, I prepare for it mentally, physically, and educationally as well. Kind of researching as much as I can.
So you do think that there is a difference in definition between a fighter and a MMA or martial artist, something like that.
Uh, I do, yeah. I feel like some of the guys that just take a fight just to say they fought. Um, I want to I want to be able to go there and test myself as a martial artist. Is what my goal is. Not just to go
Hmm.
out there and just punch somebody in the face. I want to be able to, use what I've learned, use what I've taught, and apply it and see how well I can do out there.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you want to take it eventually to the pro level after a few amateur fights?
We'll see. I'm about to turn 40, so I mean, there's not a whole lot of you know, strain to get on with that. So we'll see where it goes.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, before we go, I want to give you an opportunity to plug your sponsors, coaches, and anybody else you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot. Everybody at Progressive Martial Arts, Gladiators Wrestling, Brothers Firearms, Dark Side Tattoo, Eastman Contracting. Probably gonna miss a bunch. Sorry, guys. Um, Zagi Flow Yoga, Badman Design, Tricks Customs. I got. Let me think here. Oh, the Broken Drum Grand Forks. We got. Man, there's so many. I kind of lose track. I got so many friends that are just trying to offer their support and do that. I'm sure I missed a couple of guys, but um, yeah, everybody that's been supporters and sponsors, I definitely appreciate it. I get messages daily of people excited for the fight and looking forward to see what I can do out there.
Before you go, I also want to give you any last comment or statement you'd like to make to your opponent, to or about your opponent. The floor is yours.
Nah, I'm excited to go out there and fight and see what I can do out there. Um, just go there and showcase what I've been working on for many years and bring home a W of my for my kids.
And you can see Jeremy Such take on James Thompson at the Lara Center, October 19th, Saturday. Tickets are available on Ticketmaster, and they can still do the unlock thing, right? Where they can write your name
Uh,
in, maybe.
yeah, I think it's still working. I had somebody buy a table earlier today. They said that it was still working. Maybe Ronan will be there. I know Royce will be there. So code Such on Ticketmaster. If you go on there and get a ticket.
Great, great. And yeah, Jeremy, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to your fight. And I definitely think it's going to be an exciting fight. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the gym soon as well.
Definitely, yeah. Looking forward to seeing your fight as well. And
Oh,
I got
yes.
to
Oh,
get
yes,
back
that
to
thing as well.
Yeah, I gotta get back to yard work and rake some leaves here before wrestling.
Appreciate it, Jeremy. Thank you so much.
All right, see ya.